Welcome, coaches. Today marks the day that we take some of the things that are on our plate as coaches and we remove them so we can focus. How will we plan to do that? Well, first and foremost, we're going to get prepared by having our 6-week training camp directly in front of us, covering all of the drills and aspects of being a good coach and building good fighters. My name is Coach Eric Bradley, and I've taken the past 20 years and I've built an amazing curriculum because I was under the tutelage of some of the greatest coaches and boxing minds in the history of our sport. So what did I do? I made sure that that information could be paid forward. And for you guys, you will be the recipients of this material. One thing that I will note, there are a lot of great details. This thing is an absolute beautiful painting like Picasso because it covers every single thing that us as coaches have to face in building up our boxers. So what does this thing look like? It looks like 6 weeks of a mathematical equation in building the algorithm of a fighter. So once you get into this download, or if you guys got the hard copy, you'll see that there's an introductory. The table of contents, first a message from me, and then the key points of training. The principles of your training are important and essential to growing your boxer and your boxing program. You'll have the basics, all of the things that get you prepped, we call the essentials of boxing. The core competencies, which is the base of the program, the things that are the grains and the salts within this program. So, with that being said, all of the weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6 are all broken down to give you something essential as the weeks pass through and there's a steady progression. You'll start to see a beautiful development in your athletes because we made sure that all of the necessary skill drills were front and center. Now you won't be positioning yourself to forget certain things because we have it all here. So week 1, you're getting familiar with the structure of the program. I hear this a lot, where everybody coaches different. Yeah, but we all have to use skills and skills developments, offense, defense, footwork, counterpunching, all of those things we all have in common. And one great recipe will align you to make everything that you're already doing much simpler. Now you have the format. So as week 1 progresses, you'll start to get familiar with the program and your takeaway will be the fundamentals. Footwork, key. Because one of the things you want to have at the end of that camp is you want to be able to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee at the same time. That's week 1. You'll get all of those key essentials out of that week. But your biggest takeaway should be the comfort and growth of your footwork. Week 2, the concentrated focus is that defensive prowess because inside of the ring, everybody can hit. But everybody's not blocking, everybody's not eluding, and everybody's not countering. So you want to make sure that your defense is intact. So your big takeaway from week 2 should be your defense. Week 3, we're going to get into the logistics. Now, like I said before, there's going to be a constant growth in everything. But the key focus each week is going to have a takeaway. And that takeaway from that week is these. Throwing those punches, punch logistics, combinations, all of the skill drills that you'll start to feel comfortable with now, the fact that you have your footwork intact and you also have your defensive prowess locked in. Now you can concentrate on letting your hands go. Okay, now week 4, this is where you will start to focus on the counterpunching. You'll be doing it in the other weeks, but it'll become obvious that it's really settling in right now because the algorithms, the reflexes, the motor skills are improving. Now you're comfortable. So your takeaway from week 4 will be your counterpunching. You'll be counterpunching in volumic numbers now. That's the key thing to remember. whenever you're in this training camp. There is a strong takeaway. Now in week 5, everything's come together, right? One thing that you got to know that'll start to shine is what you're doing inside of the ring. After the 5th week, one of the things you're going to notice is that what you started and how you started, you're no longer in that rhythm. You're in a totally different airspace now. Your reflexes are good. Your motor skills are on time. Your footwork is sharp. You're feeling good in your condition because you're also on that 12 Peaks program. Hopefully you are. And the key is to understand that that shows up in the ring. Your sparring will definitely take a positive hit in a great kind of way, and you'll notice that your sparring is on point. And now you're going into week 6. You've done all of these things that make a boxer what a boxer can possibly be. Now you've ingrained the algorithm of a fighter. You've gotten the skills. You've pushed the conditioning. You're ready to roll. Now, that's one of the things that makes it so unique about having a camp, and you can build a person from A to Z. That is key. And you don't miss a beat. All of the things and essentials are in here. Now, one of the key components to what it is that makes this really good is that there's so many layers to it, right? We have all of the key points broken down into this 6-week camp, right? Skills, training, all of the things that make it necessary. We give you an understanding of what max PT is. All of those shadow boxing. Inside you have the core competencies. I'm going to speak to you straight with no chaser. You have the rules to your shadow boxer. The rules to the shadow boxer are the golden rules that you have to take whenever you start the shadow box. Inside of any event, doesn't matter what you're doing, you must know the key rules to it. And inside of this camp, you have it. The key rules to shadow boxing. The next thing you'll have is inside of this program is the boxing playlist. And what is that? What it does is just takes you through the entire fight process, giving you all of the skills to do, putting things in place, feet, keeping you aware. It's just like a music playlist, man. You remember that, you'll remember this. But it takes time to sit down, study it, then get into the ring and execute it. But it does give you the ABCs of what you should be doing whenever you're in that ring, and you will become a master pugilist using the boxing playlist. That's without a doubt, because it leaves nothing out. Inside fighting, outside fighting, mid-range, everything, using the ropes, knowing how to stay in the center of the ring. It keeps you sharp. Now, on to the next. Because the next thing you will be expecting to see is the skeleton version of the entire program. Now, the essential details are within the graphic big part of the 6-week training camp. But do you want to carry the entire thing around with you every day? Do you want to have to read all of that? No. So what we did is we made it skeleton bones. No meat on it, only the outline of the program. Just say, for instance, I use a footwork drill, for instance. We do a drop roll and pivot. I'll explain to you the entire pivot circuit. But in the skeletons, all it'll have is footwork. So you'll know by going through the other weeks, by the time you get to week 3, you should be ready to use the skeleton outline, where you're just looking at it and you already know what you're going to put in those gaps. And that's what's going to be essential. Okay, so now one of the things that was a thorn in my side was making sure that all of the coaches were on the same page when it came down to the skill drills and timing. Our timing had to be set based upon entering camp. The fact that you're entering camp, you're not familiar with everything that you're going to be doing, skill drills need to be extended. So we maximize each round to 3 minutes. And most drills should be carried out that same way, 3 minutes. Now, the more comfortable your fighter is, you can cut the drills down because you want to be able to get the bulk of each one of these training days under your belt. So 3 minutes if you are not comfortable, 2-minute drills if you're subpar comfortable and you're kind of making it through. And then when you're totally comfortable, 1-minute drills. That's how we figured it works best. That's how I do it when I'm working with my guys. If you totally are out of sorts with what it is you're doing, 3 minutes. 2 minutes if you're kind of comfortable, and a minute drill when you can splice right through it, and even 90 seconds. So make sure you have that Tabata timer or whatever interval timer that you have. I just find Tabata being a very reliable one. So the necessary time that you're spending inside of those drills, coaches, is very important because you want your fighters to progress in a mannerable way. Now, it's going to take the eye test to find out exactly are they ready. So the first 2 weeks, I'm guesstimating on average, by the end of the second week, you should be cutting the drills down to 2 minutes. So have that interval timer. Once they get comfortable, go ahead and start splicing the rounds and dicing the drills. Then by weeks 3 and 4, you're ready to definitely go from 2 minutes to maybe even 90 seconds per drill. And the last 2 weeks, you're executing your drills 60 seconds. Without a doubt, you're on point. You're ready to roll. It's about to be fight time. Whoa. And the fact that it is about to be fight time, you've now gone through all 4 tiers of the camp, which is the same 4 tiers that we exercise inside of each drill. First tier is always the walkthrough stage, which at the beginning of camp, you're in the walkthrough phases. Stage 2 at the camp, you're in your regular pace. You're trying to find the rhythm that suits you best. You're right there. Once you're comfortable, tier 3 of the camp, you start adding that hot sauce. You know, that rhythm that you get where you're feeling good and you can actually take it and turn it up a notch. That's where you're at in tier 3 of your camp. And tier 4, which is where we are right now, it's fight mode. You've built the necessary rhythms. Now, all of these things have come to a head to give you the necessary algorithm of a fighter. That's such an essential tool whenever you're in a camp and it's well structured, it's polished, and now you can experience what it feels like to go from A, starting point, to Z, and feeling that comfort of being prepared for a fight. I myself have been in positions where we've had to go through training camps and make it to a world championship level and get a taste of what it felt like to be prepped, and also have had a taste of what it felt like to not be 100% prepped. And that's one of the key reasons why we have this thing for you guys. So now on to the next. The program mediums. What are the program mediums? Those are the tools that are within your camp that help improve your skills and your development. Let's just say the speed bag, program medium. The heavy bag, the pads, punch spar mitts, Cobra Flex bag. All of these essential tools help make you better, and you'll have a great program within each one of these skill drills as well. That's one of the things that the program mediums will benefit you. It will definitely help cue up those necessary perception bulbs and those neurotransmitters and those motor skills and reaction drills. All of those things will help make your fighter much sharper, much more alert, and his reaction will just improve over the course of that 6 weeks time. Everything is spot on. We're here to make you look like a rock star and your fighter carry that gold. Now, the essential benefits of having those program mediums are the things that those program mediums offer up, which are speed, increased power, once again, reaction and reflexes. These things are key when moving forward in a boxing game. So certain things I require that fighters do on their own. Shadow box, improve yourself. One of the golden rules, I say, if you're not shadow boxing at least 6 hours a day, then you can retract that idea of becoming a world champion, because boxing has to be within your body, ingrained into you, every morsel. Teaching fighters how to box is one thing. Teaching them how to become a fighter is another thing. So remember this, the 6 hour rule. Minimal The program mediums should be done in your own time. Now, there are drills that you're going to do in camp that help you increase the speed, increase the power, increase endurance, increase conditioning. These are essential, but it's the responsibility of the boxer to make these things come full circle. All right. So, you take your own time and you do that, and you make sure that those assignments are handed out, that these guys execute this stuff on their own time. Now, as we move past the program mediums, key things that'll help: power hands, their weighted gloves. I went on board with this company a couple of years ago. They are very useful in the sport of boxing. Increase speed, increase the torque. Andre Ward became a brand ambassador. I'm a brand ambassador. It's not a pitch. They're just cool to use. I use them on a speed bag as well, the Cobra Flex bag, the double end bag, or the double end bag. They're just cool. And those things, like I said, should be done off the clock, because you have so many things to execute inside of the boxing gym that's skill related. So your program mediums, the things that increase power and speed, all of those things, they can be done on your time. So that's moved off the plate. Let's move on to the next topic. The referral guide will lead you and guide you through all the skills and teachings that are inside of this program, this training camp. So if you are looking specifically for instructions on anything particular, you can go to the reference guide and it'll guide you through. Of course, we needed to make sure that you had this. This is a pretty monstrous kind of guide. And like I said, we want to make sure that you have all the tools to help take your team to the next level. One of the last things, but definitely not least, is that we want to make sure that the fighters are given all the opportunity to stay on weight the closer they get to their fight. Let's not overlook the pink elephant in the room. A lot of guys are always walking around way off weight. And now we have an amazing nutrition system, meaning from top to bottom covers all the macronutrients, and it'll help you eat throughout the camp and maintain weight. So when it's time to make weight, jump on that scale, you're not nervous. You already know what it is. And that program has been going around. A lot of people are really appreciative of having that. And we're glad that we were able to offer that. So if you don't have it, go out there and get the meal plan for athletes. It's definitely for fighters who are trying to stay on weight but stay conditioned in the meal system. You got to have the nutrients and you got to know how to make weight. So that, don't overlook it, coaches. This guide is great, but they have to stay on weight or fight in a different weight class. And that's not the science of boxing. So, and they're also one of the program mediums. Every once in a while, I go through the entire 12 Peaks workout with them in the gym. You'll be able to utilize that. That'll be up on the website very soon. The entire conditioning system of the 12 Peaks program. So this is kind of what it is, man. You have an entire camp to walk forward and move your boxes to the next echelon. And with this program, you can do it. That's all I got for now. Like I said, I breeze back through this whole video, making sure I understand the skeleton. Once you get used to what you're seeing and you're getting into the groove, coaches, I just go to the skeleton format and it just breaks down everything, keeps it simple. You don't have to go through a bunch of instructions, and it's just easy to roll off that. But, that's usually 3 to 4 weeks into the camp. And then once you got it, you got it. Just keep on making sure that those fighters are on point. That's pretty much it, man. And if you guys want to reach out, make sure you can reach out to us at masterboxingacademy@gmail.com or masterboxingllc.com. My name is Coach Eric A. Bradley, and I thank you guys for watching. Right now, it's time to take our fighters to the next level in this next generation with the education, the School of High Learning by Master Boxing, where you'll get your master's degree in boxing. So long, good luck, and I'll see you in the winner's circle. Peace.